The all-new 22 Civic, now on sale at Team Honda on Siegen Lane.
Good morning, Baton Rouge.
Yeah, you were looking at that. Where's the E?
If you can take a look from our Sky9 camera network from Port Allen, you might notice maybe an E is missing there on the side of the levee.
I mean, I'm sure it's there. It's just kind of hidden.
I hope it's not missing. That's a very vital E.
If I not notice, I'm going to have to take a drive across the bridge.
You'll have to just to see if you can spot it. Please. And now we're on fact-finding mission.
My kids used to, they used to love and still do. I mean,
yeah, when the water's not high.
They slide down the letters.
It's awesome.
You can see like all the lines of the people who slid down those letters before. They're literally like right there.
Yes.
Sorry, we're among the people who are wrecking the letters. So welcome to 9 News Now on where are we? Friday Eve.
Friday Eve. Yeah. Thursday we've made it. Tomorrow is the weekend.
Right.
But obviously this has been a very long week leading up to coming off of Hurricane Ida last Sunday, and a lot of folks in our area are still trying to recover, and that's really important. But the good news here is that as you work on your home, if some of you are still working on clearing out storm debris, well, the weather is the highlight here.
Yeah, and so when you look at 76, you're like, why is that a highlight? Why is that? Well, the thing is, it could be a lot worse. And we started off actually right about 70 degrees this morning, and then you also noticed this morning, if you kind of walked out, a little bit less humidity than you're normally used to.
Yes.
But here's the payoff. Over the next couple of days, and Steve has talked about this, the next couple of mornings, are you kidding me with this?
Look at this. How many days, weeks has it been where we've seen 3 days in a row with only that sun icon? And not only that, if you take a look at the lows, 63. I know we've been talking about this all week, but this is the good news we're holding on to, because this not only means we get to enjoy the good weather, but for folks who are maybe without power, well, they could use that relief in cooling.
Exactly.
Because it's been hot lately.
Open up those doors and just let everything,
please let that fresh air inside.
All that
really
stuff.
important.
Because when you look at, and this we talk about this all the time. This is that map we show you all the time, poweroutage.us, about how many folks are obviously still without power in Louisiana.
Yeah.
And the numbers right now, customers, so outages total, just over 250,000. So we were better than 1 million. We were like about 1 million more than this. We were probably close to like 1.2, right? 1.3, 1.4, that kind of thing. And so now we are down, and you can see places like EBR. We're nearly 100%.
Yeah.
If you live in EBR,
less than 1,000 customers are without power in EBR.
So I mean that's movement in the right direction. Still a lot of work to do along the coast.
That's it. And again, they are not giving exact dates of restoration time. Right. Some gave dates estimated for the Metairie area, Slidell yesterday, and some people still don't have power. So please be patient. I know it's hard, and that's why we're highlighting and singing the praises of this forecast, because for folks in this lower lying area where it's still pretty humid and hot, that's going to be the good news until you get that power back on. So as we hear about more of this happening, we'll let you know. But that's the reality for our folks heading into a weekend.
You got to imagine the governor's going to be talking a little bit more about that today. Set to talk to us 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
A little bit about storm recovery and everything that's going on.
That's it. Not only that, we're also anticipated to find out whether we're going to get more federal relief.
Right.
Specifically, he's expected to talk about those FEMA reimbursements for generators, chainsaws, the Blue Tarp program, the Blue Roof program. So what other federal programs will be in place to help out South Louisiana citizens that were impacted by Ida? Well, hopefully we'll find out more today at 3.
We'll have that for you. It's streaming, the 9 News app, that kind of thing, and obviously later editions of 9 News will kind of break down the important stuff for you. It was an alarm going off, school bell ringing kind of a day for some folks.
Ascension Parish students, today's first day back to school. You know, the regular first day was a couple weeks ago for the normal school year. And of course, that was kind of a, well, will this happen? Will it won't? Will it not? Because of the 4th COVID surge. Well, the kids went back to school, and then Ida happened, and then they lost power, but they are back in school today. There are some in Ascension that are not going back, but you should have gotten a call if you have a student in the AP school system.
You know.
And so we're just rolling, we're adapting with the punches here. The superintendent there, David Alexander, saying he just wants everyone to be able to go back in a safe place, right?
Yeah, and so they're doing it. They delayed by an hour the start of school time today and tomorrow. Just trying to make sure everybody is doing this in the daylight. We still got debris and outages out there. No school uniforms to worry about, because I mean, look, if you don't have power, you're going to be doing the laundry. All that's messed up. So that's AP. You got Livingston folks trying to head back tomorrow.
Most Livingston schools.
Exactly.
Yes.
And then Assumption next week, right? Next Monday?
Yes, that is the plan. Again, things are tentative day by day. They're changing depending on which schools get power back, which schools are accessible.
Right.
So, of course, the 9 News app is going to be your best place just to keep refreshing, because over the weekend, school leaders may decide to change those decisions and modify. So you just want to stay on top of that before Monday.
There's so many great organizations in our party. We talk about them all the time. For Christmas, my wife and I asked our kids, where do you want to donate? Who do you want to go to? And there was so many great organizations, and we were going to split some stuff up. And this time we just decided to kind of pool everything and donate one big check to one place, and it was the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank. And I don't need to see proof every day of what they do, but man, we're getting proof right now.
That's it. So 365 days a year, they're feeding the community, because we have a lot of food insecurity, whether you believe it or not. We have a lot of food insecure folks in our community. That's why kids are almost of the public schools in our state get free and reduced breakfast, because we qualify for the federal program. We're under that benchmark. So when you talk about that, already being food insecure, on top of COVID, on top of a hurricane, a Category 4 hurricane, that's a lot of hungry families in need. So the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank really steps up to make sure families are being fed, but they're doing these distributions day in and day out to make sure these families are getting fed. And so every day we're kind of updating you on the places to head on out. At 8 a.m. today, you could head on over to St. James Parish, where they were at the Zion Christian Center. That was going to go, all of these are going to go first come, first serve. Right. So that's not the only one today. We've got a couple more options.
Yeah, there's one that began at 9 o'clock, so 15 minutes ago in Livingston Parish. Actually, it's the Walker Pentecostal Church, if you know where that is, right there on Florida Boulevard. And then we got one in Ascension Parish beginning at 9:30. So if you're watching this thing live, has not quite got going yet. The Donaldsonville McDonald's, the one right there on Marchand Drive. And as Liz said, they're going to go until their whole idea is they don't want to take any food back. Everything they're bringing out there, they want to be able to give away. But this is just Thursday. We're going to talk more about Friday tomorrow. I mean, a good into the weekend tomorrow. They have been all over the place all week trying to get food to the people.
That just goes to show the need. And as Matt said, if you are in a place where you can make a donation, they could greatly use it, because this is not just during severe weather events. This is year round they do this effort, and they could always use the help in making sure your donation goes to a great family in need, because they can make that dollar stretch further.
That's the ticket. They can, your dollar, they'll turn it into, it's like $7 of actual food buying power. It really is incredible. They know all the people.
They do, and they're not the only organization doing good. Callie was live with the Rescue Alliance this morning there in Gonzales, talking about all the good they're doing to make sure pets and pet owners have relief. So they've been hard at work, as you can see, trying to make sure pets get settled in, get with their owners, and make sure they have food for their pets. Because like he said this morning, I believe it's Jonathan Henriques, you don't want to go without a meal, so why would your pet want to go without a meal? So look at this. A van full of pet food, and they're still collecting donations. I believe he said he had somewhat 700 requests for need.
Exactly right.
So when you think about food and volunteers, so there's people willing to volunteer, but they need donations to help pass out.
That's how they do it right here. This is where you can do it. So find this story, and you're going to have to scroll through all the photos that are going to make you smile and make you want to be a part of this, and then you're going to find this. It's a nice, it's all lit up in yellow, and it'll take you right there. If you want to be able to donate, it's through Amazon. And this, we were talking about it earlier. All the different ways you can, it's like a wedding registry.
That's a good way to put it.
You just kind of click through it. I'm like, I want this, I want this, I want this. But you're donating. I want to donate this. I want to donate this. It's literally that easy.
And it ships right to them. You don't have to drop it off. You don't have to do anything. You just put it in your cart, make sure it gets to where it's going. I mean, wedding registry.
Literally trying to make this as easy as possible. What do we got? Friskies. Hey, they were feeding one of the cats this morning.
Flash a cute little tabby kitty.
Yeah, little tabby. I got a tabby at the house. He adopted our family.
Yes, he did. See, but that's the thing. They make it really easy for you to do that.
Really do.
And that's within our story that Callie has put together for you this morning.
Frisky.
Yes, indeed.
All the good stuff. All right, so that's a great way to do that.
Yes.
Did you know this is beginning again today in Baton Rouge?
Republic Services is power again, which means if you've left your recycling at the curb wondering, well, why have they not picked up my recycling? It's because their facility was out of power. So now they're back, they're restored, the routes are supposed to get picked up again, but remember, if it's delayed, be patient. They're catching up on a few days worth of recycling now.
Right, and so, look, if you're like me, I need multiple recycling
Yeah.
bins as
Oh,
opposed
yeah.
to like multiple trash bins.
Right.
I wish they picked up recycling twice as opposed to picking up trash.
Yeah.
I have that kind of my kids are so, and when my kids heard that
Yeah.
recycling wasn't happening, not for 1 second did I believe they were going to let me throw recycling in the trash.
Good kids.
So look, they're better than I am. Trust me. I'm like,
Saving
I
the
love to
earth.
recycle, but they're like, Dad, we're just going to put it in a bag, and then we're just going to separate it out
that.
over the next number of weeks.
Yeah.
It's going to be full bins,
Yeah.
and that's it. So yeah, that's what's going on in my house. But recycling is coming back.
Yes.
They got that little graphic here, all the pictures of what you can and can't. I think at this point, if you've been doing it, you kind of know what you can and can't, but it's coming back.
Well, for those of you who do have recycling bins and don't follow the rules,
Hey.
I'm not saying that to be a stickler, but
Hey.
just know that it doesn't get recycled. So
Yeah.
it defeats the purpose and it's taking up space in your bin. So only put stuff that is meant to be recycled, especially if you've got that extra debris, extra stuff
Yeah,
you're
don't
trying to
throw
throw
the
away.
trash
No,
in
if
there,
you've
the
got Walmart,
vegetative stuff.
Albertsons plastic bags, that stuff does not go in the
Yeah.
recycling bin. Please put that in the trash or take it to an Albertsons or a Walmart where you can properly recycle it and they can take care of it for you. You're also trying to avoid any wires. You might think wires are
tangly
recyclable.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that does not recycle.
No, none of that. So, but it is good to have it back. Good to have it back. Single stream recycling.
Yes.
Actually, not all the communities around the country have single stream recycling.
No.
Some still have you separate it yourself at the house and put it
Yeah.
out in individual bins. That's how BR did it back in the day. Everybody remember those little green bins you had to
Yeah.
do? But single stream recycling makes it so much easier, and they're back at it beginning
Yes,
today.
indeed.
There you go.
Yes,
So
we're here.
that's what I hear. We are here. HERE, and that's what I HEAR. WAFB
Here,
Plus.
here.
WAFB
Yes.
Plus. Formation Nation is Jacques Talk. 9 News Now every single day, whether you like it or not. There are quite a few options.
That's it. And because it's Thursday, the
Yeah.
conversation does not stop here.
Really?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
In 30 seconds, we're going to hop on over to YouTube. We've been live on YouTube this whole time,
Oh,
but
there we
this
are.
is where you get to chime in. You get to send us your questions, comments,
Oh.
because it's Let's Talk Thursday, Therapy Thursday.
Therapy
we like
Thursday.
to talk about all the things, and there are a lot of things happening in this world.
There are.
So please let us know what's on your mind. What do you want to know
What do you
about?
wanna do?
What
What do
are
you
your
wanna know?
questions? What do you need? Are you trying to figure out where do you find food in your parish? Well, we can try to walk you through that
Yeah.
on Let's Talk Thursday.
You want to just get to it?
I think we should.
Okay. So for those of you who will not be coming over, shame on you first. No, just kidding. No shame, no shame. But for everybody else
next week.
on the WAFB Plus, we'll be back here at 9:15.
Yes.
Obviously, the next big show in the big studio coming up at noon.
Yes,
All right.
indeed. See you on the other side.
That's right. Right about now. Right about now.
We're back.
I'm good. Wow.
Yes.
You got a Warner Brothers.
Sorry.
Not
I
the-
got so
It's like
excited.
a movie production facility.
Well, Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
All right, so you know, we were talking a little bit earlier today about what to talk about. And I mean, obviously, with everything going on hurricane-wise and recovery-wise and cleanup-wise, debris-wise, but I mean, it is the topic. It is the topic. It is still for so many.
Yeah.
You can look at, for instance, the power outage map and understand that it is the topic for so many.
Yeah.
So if you got questions, comments, critiques, concerns about any of that or anywhere else you want to take the conversation, open floor.
That's it, and that's why we're here on YouTube every Thursday, right after 9 News Now. We're at between 9:15, 9:30. We like to open the floor
Sure.
so you can kind of share any thoughts that are on your mind.
Yeah.
What's been stressing you out? What are you wanting to talk about? Because when you mix in this with COVID and the world we live in and kids going back to school, there's a lot to focus on, right? And so if you have been trying to look for information, maybe say, we've been worrying about storm debris pickup, we've been worrying about how to find food, we've been worrying about where to find water,
Right.
and you just don't know where to go, we actually have a resource for you. 9 News app, WAFB.com is going to be your best place to go. Should we navigate people to the Hurricane Center? I feel like
let's
that's a
go.
really
Let's
good
go.
place to
Do-
tell
you
people
wanna do it
to
over
go.
there or do it over
Yeah, well, let's see.
Let's see where we can go.
So we're going to work on trying to get this up for you because it's a good place to find out really everything in terms of where you can find a hot meal, where you can find bagged ice, how you can apply for the Blue Roof, Operation Blue Roof through FEMA. Really great resources Matt has pulled up for you here to show you all the different things as a part of our Ida coverage. And I know it says road closures, curfews. That was big when Ida had just made landfall. But I believe most of the curfews in our viewing area have cleared. It may be different for the New Orleans viewing area where there's still many people without power.
Very true.
Shelters, no longer a thing in our area. Sandbags, no. So these two are going to be your main
Right, the closures
topics
and all
of
the others.
focus.
Yeah. And then the additional resources down here.
Yes.
And when we talk about additional resources, right now we're certainly talking about the potential for more FEMA resources to come in, more federal help to come in. Obviously, the president's come down here and put his eyes on everything. Our congressional delegation keeping this in the conversation. So again, this is kind of a one-stop shop. It's literally the tab up at one of the tabs up at the very top, Hurricane Center, and it takes you right to it. You just scroll down, you'll see everything. And as these change. We change. We try to stay as updated as possible to just give you all that information.
So we anticipate some more changes today at 3 o'clock when the governor talks, maybe some updates about FEMA aid and what our state can qualify for, what they are qualifying for. And a really important notice, Matt and I talked about this yesterday, if you've already applied for FEMA aid and you've already been denied, well, you can appeal that decision.
Right, they got a few options for you to do that. You can write out a letter, you can actually send it to them online, that kind of thing, but you can also, the old snail mail. And so if that's the route you want to go as well, you can literally mail off that letter. It may take obviously a little bit of time, but we're going to be in this for a little bit of time. And reimbursements, you know, even if it takes a month or a couple months, nobody hopes it takes that long, anytime it comes to you is a good thing. But a couple of options to see perhaps maybe if they made the mistake.
So please remember to keep detailed receipts, copies of receipts, take pictures of anything that was damaged before you clean it up. Matt made a really good point, especially if you had to throw away a lot of things. FEMA's not reimbursing for anything in the fridge that you may have lost because of the storm, but let's say your home took on damage. That's the kind of stuff they're looking for. So if you can extensively take pictures of that, that can only help your case.
I've got so many photos on my phone right now. Look, man, I ain't messing around after 2016. I'm not messing around at all. And so pre-Ida, as the weekend was hitting and before we went on air, that kind of thing, at my house, just like I'm sure so many people at home, I'm walking around the house, taking photos of everything, picking stuff up off the floor, because again, I didn't know, man, we could have got a whole ton of rain. And then thankful that my house didn't take on water. You lost power like so many others and, fence damage, that kind of thing. But so grateful it wasn't worse, but you take those photos just in case. And then after, you take those photos again. That's what FEMA's going to want to see. That's what the insurance company's going to want to see. Before, after, have it all for them.
And since we're still in hurricane season, it's good to just get in the practice of that.
Yeah,
so
if
if your home, thankfully, fortunately, was spared,
Yeah.
go ahead and take pictures of those really important big ticket things, your fridge, your TVs, all of the important things, your laptops, your technology. Make sure all of that is backed up. We talked about the importance of that. We talked about making sure your insurance companies, especially if you have insurance policies on these things, well, they're going to want to know what you had before these storms. So make it easy on them. Take pictures of what already it belongs in your house, what's inside there, and it's not yet damaged.
And if you don't have insurance down here, if you don't have named storm deductible kind of stuff, if you don't have flood insurance, I remember when we first got into this house that we're in now, there was like one corner of our driveway that fell into a flood zone. And they're like, hey, you got to buy flood insurance. I'm like, oh, okay. And so, if you've heard this, it's never flooded out here.
Yeah.
That's everybody. It's never flooded out here.
Right. No one could have predicted that.
Boom. Like a year and a half later, flood. Now, thankfully, we did have flood insurance for just the structure. We didn't have contents insurance.
Things you don't think
do
about
now, though.
until it happens.
Yeah,
right. So these are some conversations to be having right now, especially as we are in hurricane season. Maybe you and your family are thinking, well, we were spared this time around. Will we be so lucky the next time? Again, every family is going to think about this and approach it differently. So have these conversations, especially as we look at some of the unfortunate cases for some of our neighbors, especially down south.
All of it.
Have these conversations. Very important during this time of year.
Okay, so looks like you guys are good to go out there right now. So that's great.
Understandably busy.
Understandably busy. We're thinking about, maybe in the future bringing in some couches and really, like we said earlier, commit to the bit.
Yes, I like that.
Therapy. Just lay down and just put the feet up. And just kind of dig in a little bit. What makes Liz tick?
What grinds my gears?
I do. She's like Williams every day.
But I love you.
Every day. Oh, it's like forced love.
I love it.
So we'll do it again. We'll do it again. You never know what people are going to want to talk
That's
about.
it. And understandably, if you're dealing without power, you might be trying to conserve your battery. You might be trying to say, look, I've got stuff to clean up.
Right.
We'll talk again next Thursday.
Let's do that.
I like it.
Bye, y'all.
See you tomorrow.